welcome to Vine and Thorn Witch. So today I thought I would share what I was going to do with the rest of the roses from the sugar roses and turn it into my rose water. So there's my pot and these are the roses. And I have these 2 jars that I use for this. They are like a pressure seal. I do not remember where I got them. I've had them for years now, and yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add some water into my pot. I used about 8 cups of water. And I don't have like true measurements. This is basically just a time-old recipe that's been handed down from my mom, and making rose water for protections, for protection wash on the front door. So let me go ahead and add these roses into the water. I should note that I should note that you want to have the temperature really low. You don't want to boil the roses. You want to bring them into like a really low simmer. It's almost like making tea. So think of it as making a tea rose. So let me get them all wet. And again, the low temperature. And this is going to simmer for probably about 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it, and I will be back in 2 hours about. So it did what I didn't want it to do. It started to boil. Of course. And it is at the lowest setting on my stove, but it looks okay. The water isn't too dark. So generally roses that are dark are going to have a darker water. The lighter the rose, the lighter the water, at least in my experience with this. All right, so I'm gonna turn it off, and I'm going to go ahead and let it cool. I don't want to put it in the jars this hot, so I'm going to transfer it into a pitcher, and then I'm going to see how long it takes for it to cool. So it's been about 2 hours. It's still steaming, as you can see, but I need to get this done. So I do have quite a bit, and I'm going to add it into these. I'm going to add vodka. So vodka has been my magic for tinctures with flowers. I've tried rubbing alcohol and other things, and it doesn't seem to last as well. And vodka just seems to be what works for me. So that's just what works for me. Okay, so I have my funnel, and I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, so I fill these up probably twice a year. It takes me about 6 months to use everything that's in these jars, and I use them to wash my doors, my walkway up to my front door, the light outside, the mailbox, all these things that I want to add protection to. So let me go ahead and put the funnel on, and let's go ahead and start pouring. Lovely sounds about to come. Hopefully no one has to go to the bathroom, because this sound does that to me. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I didn't have enough. I think maybe I'm short on how much I have. Maybe they evaporated. So let me see. I'm going to pour this into the other one. And I'm going to pour it about up to the label. That is the reason that I use these labels, and I kind of have fun adding art to it. Art that I got on Pinterest, I'm not exactly sure. But okay, so you can see that it did fill up to the label there. And I do have enough for this one, so let me go ahead and fill this one up also. Okay, and then I have some extra that I will add into a bucket and wash my floors probably today. So here are my 2 jars, and you can see how I filled them up. Nice dark fluid in there, and let's go ahead and add the vodka. So I buy this vodka probably once a year in January, and I use it through tinctures, and I use it for other things throughout the year. Like this one isn't going to take that much. Basically, it's going to be like 25% of the bottle is what I want to fill with the vodka. And because I'm adding this vodka into water that is, it's in that in between warm and hot, is going to actually change the chemical properties of the vodka, basically diluting the alcohol proof. So, so you can see that I added enough for there to be an air vapor for hot and cold, and that way it's not going to go bad. I'm going to add it up to about right here. So, like if you do any canning, you want to make sure that you have an awareness of the temperatures where you're storing this. And of course, you're going to put it in a dark space. You don't want the sun to hit it. The sun is kind of an enemy to all tinctures and all oils, perfumes, etc. So yeah, so I want to make sure that when temperature gets it, it's going to evaporate. Okay, so put that cap back on. You can see it didn't take that much. And so then I'm going to go ahead and spin it counterclockwise and then clockwise. I will later add my own words. It's really important that when you make these tinctures that you have your own spell words for whatever it is that you're doing. So for protection, which is what I use this for, that you say those words over into it and makes, well, in my practice at least, I make sure that I exhale a lot of breath as I am saying these words. There's a lot of energy in our breath, and yeah, so it's going to swirl around as you're saying it, and there you go. Okay, so I now have these two. They're still hot, not so hot that I can't touch it, but I'm going to go ahead now and let them cool. Okay. It has now been another 2 hours. It's evening. I need to get this done so that I can have my kitchen to cook dinner for my family. And I'm going to go ahead and just pressure close them. These bottles, if you ever find them, they're really nice. They hold everything beautifully, and yeah, good preserve. So, trying to think of what else to say. So yeah, so these things are great for protections. I usually like to, so I have my base here, and then I'll come back and I'll add like oranges, cinnamon, other things as I'm making a wash for anything in particular. So you can add anything you want into these. Well, actually, you'll take this and put it into a bucket that you're cleaning. That's where you add your other herbs. That way these jars stay safe. So yeah, so let me go ahead now and just show you me washing the inside of one of our doors. So I just have just a standard rag, and I'm going to go ahead and add some of this. Just because it's freshly made, I figured I was just going to do it straight just for the purposes of this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is focus on my energy. I'm going to ground, I'm going to center, and I'm focusing on what it is that I'm about to do. Obviously this is protection. I want to make sure that the energies that come through this door are balanced, are going to be good for my family. And then what I do is I bring this towel and I work in a circular motion, kind of like a spiral inwards towards the middle of the door is basically the way that I've been doing this. So up and around, it's really simple. It's more about your intent and the action that you're doing with the rose blend that you're using. I'm going to add a little bit more of the rose water, and I'm going to do the doorknob, which is where we touch, awareness of turning things. So doors are one of the crossroads, and then I'm going to go ahead and focus on that crossroad, and I am going to draw a sigil. So I always like to focus on the sigil in my mind before I draw it out. This is just something that I've been doing for years, so yeah. So this rose water is going to be a little bit different from what you would buy at the store, obviously, because it's more of a tincture tea. And it's really made just for this purpose, for protection, for cleansings, for returning balance. So we all know that roses are very powerful plants. Not only are they beautiful and they welcome the energies of love, but they also welcome the energies of protection with the thorns. So there is my rose water. One of my most simple and time-honored protection magics. Hopefully you've liked this and you found some use for it. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day or night wherever you are. And as always, happy witching.